Welcome back to the Media Unrestricted podcast. I am your host, Chase, and here with me, as always, is my co-host,
Dylan.
and we got a pretty kind of loaded show for you today. A lot of great things we're going to talk to you about, so stay tuned with that. But first, if you could like and subscribe, we would definitely appreciate that. We thank you for all the support we've gotten, and let's wait no further. Let's start with our Doctor Strange 2 review. And as everyone knows from the Out of the Theater Thoughts, me and Dylan both did have a good time with this movie. I love the horror elements that are featured in this film because I knew going in, they did talk about this, going to be kind of the first horror in Marvel. I mean, I know there is some Marvel horror movies. I know there's one, I know for sure, Man-Thing that came back in the early 2000s, if anyone even remembers that one. But anyways, Sam Raimi did a good job with those horror elements. You can definitely see the Evil Dead, like I've said in the thing, Out of Theater Thoughts, in this movie, which is great because I love the Evil Dead franchise. I think they're all great. So that's plus for me, for sure. I would definitely would love to see another horror Marvel film. I hope we can maybe get a couple more here because I think we need more. I'm not gonna lie. I think it was a nice change and it worked well. So let's make it happen again. Benedict Cumberbatch as Stephen Strange was amazing as always. He's always been great, definitely since the first Doctor Strange. So not a surprise by that. Elizabeth Olsen was top notch in this. This is my favorite role of hers in the MCU for sure. I mean, she was scary at times. She was just a badass at times. She was definitely top notch in this, and I know Dylan was talking about, and I've heard other people say about Oscar worthy and stuff. I don't know. There's a point of me I could definitely agree with that, and there's a point with me I don't fully agree with that. So we'll see when Oscar time comes around, because I definitely would look forward to seeing what the people actually think, and if she does, congratulations to her. She does deserve it. Benedict Wong was a delight as always. He is a very fan favorite character since the first Doctor Strange, and he's been a very nice addition. I really like him a lot. Rachel McAdams was great as well. I'm kind of I wouldn't say a super big Rachel McAdams fan, but everything I've seen her in, she's always good. This was no different. She wasn't in it a lot, but for what she was in, was great. America Chavez, the girl who played her, Exshada Gomez. I know I said that wrong, so excuse me on that. I'm sorry. But she was a very nice new welcome to the MCU. I really did dig her performance and dig the character, and I really look forward to seeing her in more MCU films. She definitely needs to be back because she is going to be, I think, something of the future. Let's talk those cameos real quick. They're good. Not as good as I was hoping for. I've heard some of the things I heard going in. I thought we were going to be in for a delight. And I know they said that there's going to be big surprises and all that. That's one of my big problems. I didn't think there was enough surprises. And with these cameos, some of it kind of sucked. But let's get into a few of them right here because they all kind of at one moment. Lashawna Lynch played she was Captain Marvel, which she was in the Captain Marvel movies, so that was really cool. Hassan Mount played the Black Bolt, which I don't know really a lot about the Black Bolt, but it was cool to see him. He seems like a really cool character, so I hope we definitely get more of him in the future. Hayley Atwell as Captain Carter. We've seen her in the What If show, and that was kind of just brought to life with that, so that was really cool. I like that one. Patrick Stewart as Professor X. Everyone kind of knew that one from the trailer, and that one did not that one was great. Did not bring us down on that one. And lastly, my favorite one I wanted to become true, and it did. John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic. That was just awesome. We cheered for that one in our screening. I'm sure everybody else did. So if you could in the comments, let me know if during that moment if you got applauds or people kind of be quiet. But I think that one most theaters probably got an applaud out of. But I hope we definitely. This is the confirmation that we will see John Krasinski again as Mr. Fantastic because, spoiler, if you've seen the movie, all these people die because Scarlet Witch goes in there and kills them all, and a couple of them are freaking insane. Black Bolt getting his head just like mouth just take off and then blown. That was cool. Blowing his brain. That was cool. Captain Carter getting chopped in half, more or less. Mr. Fantastic turned into string. That was really cool. Those are really some cool, like I said, the horror elements really kicked ass on that one. I like that one a lot. But we did also get a cameo I wasn't expecting. It was Thanos. Not in a cameo way you'd want to, but it was a quick shot of Thanos dead, like kind of he was like impaled. Because in one of the universes, that's how Thanos died. Stephen Strange killed him. So that's kind of interesting. I mean, you see Thanos for maybe 5 seconds, but it was cool. I'm glad to see that. I love the zombie Doctor Strange. I knew that from the trailer, and that was really cool. Definitely something Sam Raimi would be the only one to come up with. And again, he nailed it. It looks great. Absolutely love it. The evil Strange from the universe, where like he's the only one left. He was cool. The one that was in the What If, he was cool. I liked him. I liked how they had the actual physical version of the Eye of Agamotto, like the one where like the third eye up top. That was really cool to see actually in person thing. I like that, and I kind of at first I was kind of out of that ending. I wasn't really fully for sure, but after all that, because he stops with using the dark, whatever I forget what it's called, the dark power that Scarlet Witch has, and Scarlet Witch sacrifices herself. Dylan thinks she'll come back. I know she did sign a contract, but they kind of, I think as a Scarlet Witch, she won't be coming back. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work. I look forward to seeing how they're doing that. But then doing that makes the chance of him getting the Eye of Agamotto, and he did. That's how it ends. Kind of, he comes out of his apartment, and the eye appears, and he screams, and that's how it ends. So it was a weird ending for sure, but again, only Sam Raimi, something he could do. Getting to those post-credit scenes, the first one sets Doctor Strange on his next mission, which gives us our first look at a thing you definitely had to look up after the film because you're like, who is this? Clea? Maybe I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but she will soon, because in the comics she is Doctor Strange's wife. So she has made her MCU debut, and she took him into like the somewhere else, not sure where, to stop something. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this plays out. And the second one is like the joke one, the funny one. It has the great Bruce Campbell, which we see earlier in the film. He plays like a crazy kind of vendor guy in one of the universes. And Strange puts on a spell that makes him punch himself. So this is where the spell ends, and he says that it's over. So, because this is the end of Phase 4. So that's people kind of saying that was kind of the ending of that. But I mean, you had to have Bruce Campbell in it because, again, not a Sam Raimi movie without Bruce Campbell. But I had a great time with this movie. I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Not my top 5, not top 10, not even probably top 15, probably. I don't know. But I had a great time with this. I do look forward to hopefully getting the chance to see it again. But Dylan, man, what are all your thoughts on Doctor Strange 2? I'd love to hear what are your full review thoughts.
Yeah, Doctor Strange 2 was a great movie. I really loved it. Like you said, Benedict Cumberbatch killed it as always. He's so great as Doctor Strange. Elizabeth Olsen as the Scarlet Witch, Wanda Maximoff, she was also great as always. Like I was mentioning to you, how people have been saying like, oh, Oscar-worthy, Oscar contender, have her contend for the Oscar. I don't know if I go that far, but She was great. I will give her that. She was really good. I think her name is Xochitl Gomez. That's how I've always pronounced it. Although I've heard other people call her Xochi Gomez. Maybe that's because they don't know how to pronounce a full name. I don't know. But she was great as who was she? I can't believe I'm blanking on her name. America Chavez. There we go. I'm sorry. She was great as America Chavez. Her character was not cringy or anything at all. People need to stop complaining about her because she's not a bad character. To me, all the cameos were fine. I went into it not expecting a whole lot of cameos, especially because before that, everyone was like, temper your expectations on the cameos. And I did that, and I didn't come out disappointed, really. We got John Krasinski, the fan cast for Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, which was cool to see. Baron Carl Mordo, Carl Baron Mordo, got that. We got Professor X was in there. We got Black Bolt, or I think they called him Blackicus Boltigar or something like that, or Blackigar Boltigus or Boltigus or something like that. But they said it weird. But yeah, he was in there, played by Anson Mount from the Inhumans show that flopped hard. We got Maria Rambeau, Captain Marvel, like Chase said. Then we also got Captain Carter, basically from the What If series, but it's not the exact one. Yeah, I hope it's obviously not the exact one, considering they all died. But yeah, it was such a cool movie. Like, we did get madness in the multiverse, although I do agree with a lot of other people, we didn't get as much madness and a whole lot of different multiverses as I feel like we should have. There's a rumor going out there that there's 40 minutes out of this movie that were cut out. That I think that Sam Raimi wanted to keep in, but he had to cut out to make the movie shorter. So give us the Sam Raimi cut. Give us that 3 hour or whatever cut. I want to see it, because I want to see if there's any cameos or anything that were cut out, or if there's anything in there that would have made this movie just even a little bit better. Because I mean, it was still great. I loved it. But it does feel like there might be a little bit missing. But overall, I really had a good time with this movie. I highly recommend it. If you haven't seen it yet, go out and see it. I know even if you have seen it probably beforehand, the movie was spoiled for you. But, this is our review. We have spoilers here, so I guess that's just how it is. But yeah, I'd still think I'd give this movie an 8.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. And, yeah, I think that's about it for my thoughts on Doctor Strange 2.
And let's move on to some horror news before we come back to kind of Doctor Strange, kind of what happened on that night. But let's get into Scream 6 is going to be returning 4 actors. This is coming from the Hollywood Reporter. Melissa Barra, Jasmine Savoya Brown, Mason Golding, and Jenna Ortega, all whom starred in the January's horror hit Scream, have signed on to return in the next installment. Sunglass Media and Paramount announced that on Tuesday. The creative team behind the reboot has already been prepping this summer's shoot. James Villeneuve and Guy Busick returned to co-write, while Matt Bentinelli Oldpin and Tyler Gilbert are also going to be back as well from the Radio Silence as our directors. Plot details are being kept under the cloak, which, not surprised. But the companies said the new future continues with the 4 survivors of the Ghostface killings as they leave Woodsboro behind to start a new chapter. Shooting is scheduled to start this summer for a March 31st, 2023 release. I'm excited to hear all that about them coming back. They are definitely the future in the Scream franchise. I still definitely believe, I know Courtney Cox is coming back. I really believe we don't need Neve Campbell. But if she comes back, great. I love this. I don't mind seeing her again. But I think, like I said, the future is set with those 4, and they will lead the way into more Scream movies. But I'm super excited to hear this news because all 4 of those actors are nothing but fantastic. Jenna Ortega is really becoming a real horror star. She's been in a lot of horror movies like X and Studio 666. So again, great to see them all coming back. I'm looking forward to seeing who else they announce that's going to be maybe making their new role into this or making a return to the screen. So, Dylan, with all that Scream 6 news talk there, what do you think about all of that?
I'm super psyched about Scream 6, man. Like, Scream 5 was such a fun ride, and I know we got ripped to Dewey, but I felt like it needed to happen. But the characters they did give us, the new characters, they were really likable, and, like, they were really good characters. I honestly can't wait to see him again in Scream 6, especially Randy's, I think it's his niece and nephew, if I'm not mistaken. So I can't wait to see all of the returning characters. I know a few of them are probably going to die, and I couldn't tell you at the moment who they are. Yeah, I don't know, but I can't wait until June. I think it's June 2023, right? I think that's what you said. June 2023 is going to be awesome, and I can't wait until 2023 when we get this movie.
And just a few hours after I finished recording the video, breaking news came out that went perfect with the Scream talk because I kind of mentioned that who knows, like when we get more information about who would be returning or new face to show up, we get a returning face, and it's a big one and it's a great one. Hayden Panettiere will come back as Kirby. As everyone thought in Scream 4, she met her demise, but she was definitely a big fan favorite. I really like her as well. But then in the Scream movie, you see it on one of the YouTube videos, you see where she survived. So it's been made official. Hayden Panettiere will be making her Scream return. And I think this is going to be a big one because I find either she's going to be a lead character with these new people and maybe lead her the way, heck, maybe surprised she might be the killer. Who knows? But this is definitely big news, and I just wanted to make sure I added this part to it because, like I said, this is big news and great to see for all us Scream fans because we have definitely wanted to see Kirby's presence once again. So I am super glad that we're going to get her again, and looking forward to seeing what she brings to this new one. I hope she's not the killer, but I wouldn't be surprised if they would throw that in there. But we'll see how that turns out next year. But Dylan, what is your thoughts on Hayden Panettiere making her return as Kirby?
Hayden Panettiere as Kirby Reed is coming back. Now that is some good news. She was one of my favorite characters in Scream 4, which wasn't hard because I'm gonna be honest, Scream 4 was not one of my favorites in the franchise, if I'm being honest. I honestly feel like I liked Scream 3 more. I honestly say Scream 4 is probably at the bottom of my Scream movies, if I'm being 100% honest with you. I had more fun with Scream 3 than I did with Scream 4, and I don't know why that is, but I just did. But she was a great character in that movie, and it did seem like she died, but thankfully, like you mentioned, in the new movie, they showed that she did survive. So we will see what she does in the new one, and if I don't think they're gonna bring her in to be the killer. I think that would be a stupid idea. I think what they might do is, I don't know who said it. Someone mentioned something where like the plot could possibly be like Gail Weathers and her news station gather up all the survivors of all of the Ghostface killings to get them together for something. And then all of a sudden a Ghostface killer appears out of nowhere and starts attacking all the survivors from the past attacks, which would be a really interesting sort of way to go with the story, I think. I don't want them to go the Scream 2 route and have them go to college again. That'd be stupid. But we'll see how it goes, and I honestly can't wait for this movie.
And let's get back to what kind of started all on Doctor Strange night when me and Dylan saw it. The Avatar, The Way of the Water trailer. See, that was the first time you could only see it. It was only tied with that, but then Monday they did release it to everyone to see, which I knew that's what they were going to do. And the trailer got big reviews, no surprise. So my first impressions, I do like this trailer a lot. I think it gets us right back in that mood for Avatar. It's been a long, long time since I've seen Avatar, so I definitely need to watch it again. And I know soon I will. I'll have news on that here in a little bit. But I do like this trailer. I think this movie is going to be really good, and I'm glad that it's coming to us this year. But let's get into this article. Like I said, the trailer got big views. This is coming from the Hollywood Reporter. The first teaser trailer for James Cameron's sequel, Avatar: The Way of the Water, rode a huge wave of interest when debuting online early Monday after playing exclusively in the cinemas over the weekend. The teaser finished its first 24-hour online viewing with 148.6 million views, including 23 million from China alone. According to Disney and 20th Century Fox, that's ahead of all the recent Star Wars films. In terms of other like trailers and stuff, Universal's Fast 9 was able to nab 202.7 million in its initial 24 hours. Black Widow had 116.8, Incredibles 2 had 113.1, and Rise of Skywalker had 112.4. Cameron's sequel, which will hit December 16th, like I said, can't wait, centers on the return of Jake Sully, played by Sam Worthington. Glad to see him back. Great actor. Along with Neva Natara. I'm not great with the character names, but that's Zoe Saldana. Again, great actress. Glad to see her back. And their family and the lengths they will go to keep each other safe. Avatar was released in 2009, so they've decided to bring it back. The original Avatar will be re-released in cinemas on September 23rd with restored picture and sound. I am highly looking forward to seeing it back in the theaters because I think that is the way I will rewatch this movie. I hope they do it in IMAX and in 3D because that's the way to see this movie. But whenever it was released, it was the top grossing film of all time with a worldwide box office of $2.84 billion. And we know how kind of Avengers had it and then they gained it back. So we know Avatar is going to just keep doing it. And I think that's what they know. They're going to keep getting that money off that. Like I said, I had a great time with the trailer. I thought it was really good. Super excited to see the film this December and really looking forward to seeing the re-release of the first one in September. But Dylan, what are your full thoughts on this trailer? Break it down for me, man. And what are your thoughts on these views?
Okay, to get started off on the views of the Avatar 2 trailer, it makes sense to me. This is a highly anticipated sequel of a movie that came out, was it 2009? Yeah, it's been about 13 years since the first one, which is a huge gap between movies, but I mean, go look at Scream, you know. But anyways, yeah, this is a highly anticipated movie, and it makes sense to me that the trailer would get a lot of views like that, especially beating out ones like Star Wars and stuff, considering it's like the fan reception to the last few movies hasn't been the greatest. But yeah, it's been highly anticipated and it makes a lot of sense to me. The trailer itself, though, it didn't do a whole lot for me. I mean, yeah, it was pretty and stuff, you know, showed off like how tech's evolved over the last 13 years. And it pretty much just shows, from what I interpreted, it shows like Jake and his Na'vi wife or whatever. It looked like they have kids and all that stuff. And I think what the plot is that the Na'vi are trying to find a new place to live since the tree that they lived in the first movie got brought down. So we'll see where that plot takes us in the second one. It looks like they're going to try to find it in water. I don't know. It's called The Way of Water, so we'll see how that goes. But it was an okay trailer. I mean, it's a first teaser trailer. We'll probably get our first full trailer in a couple of months, maybe like August or September or something. But yeah, I can't wait to get that first trailer because I want it to show more than what we got in this one.
Now moving on to Netflix. They are going to add a new plan that will have ads. This is something they have talked about before. This comes from Screen Rant. Netflix plans to launch a cheaper subscription option featuring ads much sooner than initially expected. Back in 2007, Netflix began to offer subscribers the ability to stream content directly to their screens rather than having them receive discs. Yes, folks, remember, Netflix was a disc program back in the day. kids probably nowadays going to be like, that makes no sense. But whatever. But anyways, Netflix has been one of the powerhouse streaming performances, platforms, and all that stuff, as everyone knows, with 5,000 movies and TV shows, over 100 of which are Netflix originals. However, due to the emergence of so many competing streaming services over the years, Netflix does not have the necessary to keep it all of its subscribers. Because if you remember, I think we talked about it, I can't remember, but there were reports that Netflix was losing subscribers and everything. So they, I think, are going to try to gain people back with a cheaper plan and do ads. And it also appears that Netflix will begin to offer its cheaper ad support option and crack down on password sharing sooner rather than later. I really don't think you need ads, but because I mean Netflix I think is only $9.99. So what are they gonna do? Make it $5.99 or something? Probably. But we'll see how this turns out, and let's see how the if they get more people back. But Dylan, what's your full thoughts on this Netflix adding ads?
I don't know. I personally think Netflix is dying. They don't have that much great content anymore. Everything's leaving Netflix. Everyone always talks about it. They have a few original shows and movies, and that's pretty much all they have going for them. You know, all these other movie studios and stuff are starting their own streaming services and pulling all their content off of Netflix. Like Disney pulled all of their Marvel shows off of Netflix and like all that kind of stuff. And Netflix is also losing subscribers because of that password crackdown sharing. A lot of people share their password with family members and stuff. And if they're going to crack down on that, a lot of people are going to be like, well, I share my account with other people, and if you don't let us use it, there's no point in keeping it, because they don't want to pay however much it is a month just for themselves, you know. So I don't think the cheaper tier is going to bring people back either, especially with ads. Like nobody wants to watch ads on a subscription service that they're fucking paying for. That's a stupid idea. Why include ads if they're paying for your service? It doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. It's stupid, and it's not going to bring people back. What it's going to end up doing is just going to lead to Netflix just completely dying out, because they're just being stupid with their business and they don't know what they're doing. They need someone there to help them figure out what the hell they're doing.
And moving on to some Marvel news, back to that, and kind of a sad one, to be honest with me. Dave Bautista done as Drax. This is coming from Variety. Just as Marvel fans were getting the chance to see Doctor Strange into the Multiverse of Madness on May 6th, they're also getting an update from James Gunn that filming had officially wrapped on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which is great to hear. Really looking forward to seeing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, because both of the other ones have been absolute masterpieces. I love both of those movies. The end of production marked the finish line for Dave Bautista's MCU tenure as Drax the Destroyer, a role he reportedly said he is retiring from after the third Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Bautista told Ellen DeGeneres last summer that he would continue playing Drax beyond the third Guardians movie, adding, the journey's come full circle and I'm ready to kind of step aside and wrap it up. I don't think me leaving the MCU was going to be news, because I figured everybody assumed it. This is how it works. We've worked in trilogies, and James Gunn has already announced that it's his last film, and when James is done, I'm done. So that's definitely sad to see, because Dave Bautista is a great actor. He's definitely killed it with Drax. So I don't know if they're going to kill Drax off with this movie or what they're going to quite do with it. I'm looking definitely interested to see on this. But I guess thanks, Dave Bautista, for your work as Drax, because you've been fantastic with it, man. But Dylan, what are your thoughts on Dave Bautista being done as Drax?
Yeah, it's sad that he's leaving, man, but if that's what he wants to do, nobody can stop him. I know he voiced displeasure about having to be shirtless and all this in all the movies and stuff too much, but I mean, that's kind of Drax's character. He doesn't wear a shirt. But anyways, I'm assuming they're probably going to end up killing him off, or something to that effect. They're probably going to make it really emotional like they did with, oh man, he's one of your favorite, Yondu's death in Guardians 2, I think. I think it was Guardians 2 where he died. But yeah, they're probably going to do all that, and it's going to be interesting to see what they do after Drax's character is gone, because they have been saying that after Guardians 3, the Guardians team will not be the same as it was whenever they went into that movie. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see who dies, and we'll see how Guardians 3 turns out. And farewell, Drax. Farewell, Dave Bautista. It was a great character. You were really funny in all the movies you were in. And let's see where it goes from there.
And we'll move on to the last topic of the day, staying in Marvel. But Loki Season 2 will be filming very soon. This is coming from Collider. The second season of Loki will begin production on June 6th in London, according to the productionlist.com, under the direction of Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead. Hiddleston will also reprise his role in the second season alongside Owens Wilson's agent Mobius and Juju Mabeth Rawls, Ravon Renslayer. I messed that all up. But not much more coming from Loki 2 right now. I just know that filming is going to be coming soon, so I'm sure we will definitely have more on this coming soon. So, Dylan, what are your thoughts on Loki 2 coming at us with filming very soon?
I honestly can't wait for Loki Season 2. Like, Loki Season 1 to me was the best Marvel MCU show. Yes, even better than Moon Knight, but Moon Knight is a close second to me. But yeah, because I know Season 2 is probably going to delve more into Kang the Conqueror, and I know we're getting Kang in Quantumania, but I know they delayed Quantumania, so I don't know if this Season 2 is going to end up coming out before Quantumania or how that's going to happen. But regardless, I can't wait for Loki Season 2. I can't wait to see all the people coming back, because it's going to be so good. It's going to probably delve into more multiverses and more universes and all that stuff. So we'll see how it goes, and I can't wait for it.
And that's our show for the day. A lot of great topics to talk to you about. I hope you enjoyed it. If you could, again, like and subscribe. We will hope to be with you next week. But until then, I'm Chase.
I'm Dylan.
We'll talk to you then.